December 2023. Question 1B. Question 1B. Question 1B. Are you there? Jeffa. Sadrach, are you there? Aaron, are you there? Reese, are you there? Is Elizabeth Betty here? Reese, are you here? Emma, you are there? You are there? Okay. Naitali, are you there? Okay. Sawa. So basically what are we told here? What are we told as far as that question says concerned? What are we told? So the question reads, basically a small one. It reads, Godoro Limited supplies high quality mattresses. The company outsourced these mattresses from a supplier in town, and then you're told Godoro Limited estimate that the total inventory holding cost, the total inventory holding cost of one mattress per annum is as follows. So basically what you're given here is the holding cost. So we are given the various components of the holding cost, which comprises of the opportunity cost, the obsolescence cost, the storage charges, the handling cost, and the insurance. And basically you're given those particular costs as a percentage of the purchase price per unit. And basically you can see we are given the total holding cost as 15% of the purchase price per unit. And then number one, we have some additional information. Number one, you're told the annual sales demand of the mattresses is 480 mattresses. Number two, you're told each mattress costs shillings 4,000 to purchase from the supplier. Number three, we are told the ordering cost is 62.50 per order. And then finally, you're told the suppliers offer a 30% discount for orders of 120 mattresses and a discount of 5% for orders of 180 mattresses. So what are we required to do here? In Oman 1, we are required to compute the economic order quantity of the mattresses. In Oman 2, we are required to determine the cost minimizing order size from the supplier. We are going to start with Roman 1, and then I will be able to explain how we do Roman 2. So in Roman 1, we are required to compute the economic order quantity of the mattresses, the economic order quantity of what? Of the mattresses, economic order quantity of the mattresses. So automatically, the first thing we need to recall here is how do we compute the EOQ? To compute the EOQ, the economic order quantity, we take the square root of 2DC naught, that is 2, multiplied by the annual demand, multiplied that with the ordering cost per order, and basically divided that with the HC. HC is the holding cost or the carrying cost per what? Per unit. Now, do we have these values here? Do we have these particular values here? Yes. So if you go back to the question, I think the additional information, and remember in our case, we are told that this company basically deals or basically sells mattresses. So if you go to note number 1, in note number 1, you're told the annual sales demand of the mattresses is 480 mattresses. So basically it means that this company here basically do what? It purchases some mattresses, and then it sells those mattresses. So we are told the annual sales demand is 480. So basically what our company here need to purchase in order to sell will be 480 mattresses. So these are the mattresses which are purchased by our company. So that is basically the annual demand. Do we have the ordering cost per order? Yes, the ordering cost per order, basically this one is given in note number 3. Additional information number 3, we are told the ordering cost is shillings 62.50 per word per order. So that is basically the ordering cost per order. What about this one? HC, the holding or the carrying cost per mattress. So that one is basically given below paragraph 1. And you're given the holding cost of mattresses per annum, and basically you're given that is a percentage. So you can see we're given various components of this holding cost, but basically what we consider here is the total percentage. The total percentage, which is below paragraph 1, 15%. And basically, if you check up there, you'll be able to see that percentage, or this is a percentage of the purchase price. So to compute this one, we take 15% of the purchase price per mattress. So what is the cost, or what is the purchase price per mattress? Can you be able to see the purchase price per mattress? This company purchases each mattress at an amount of how much? Can you see that in the additional information? Yes, I'm told by Naitare in addition information number 2, each mattress costs shillings 4,000. Cost shillings what? 4,000. So therefore, that is the purchase price. So this one is always computed as a percentage of the purchase price. The purchase price is what? Is 4,000. So this will give us what? Will it give us 600? Is it 600? 600? Is that what you're getting, Emma? Aaron, are you getting that? Abdinasil, are you getting 600? Yes. So in our case, therefore, we can move and basically we compute the economic order quantity. So by taking 2 times the annual demand, which is basically for 80, times the ordering cost, which is basically 62.50, divided by holding cost, which is basically what? 600. Which is what? 600. So let's get the final answer here. We get the final answer. We get the final answer here. So what will be the final answer? So we have 2 times 480 times 62.50 divided by what? 600. And basically that is giving us 10,000. So that means that the economic order quantity here are 100 mattresses. Are 100 what? Mattresses. 100 what? Mattresses. So what does that mean? What does this mean? That the economic order quantity is 100 mattresses. It basically means that for this company to be able to minimize the costs associated with the inventory, the holding cost, the purchase cost, and also the holding cost, the company, anytime the company is placing an order, our company should order how many mattresses? 100 mattresses. That is the economic order quantity. It is the order quantity which will minimize the company's what? The company's inventory, the company's cost associated with what? With this particular mattresses here, or basically associated with the purchasing this particular mattresses. Now that basically what is required in Roman 1, and basically by doing that, the marks are located there were 1, 2. Then I want us to move to Roman 2, and basically what are we told? We are required to compute the cost minimizing order size from the supplier. The cost minimizing order size, order what? Size from who? From the supplier. From who? From the supplier. So in other terms, what you are required to compute here is the order size, which by the end of the day will do what? Will minimize, that is the company's what? The company's cost associated with what? Associated with the inventory. Now, which order size do we have? Now, in this case, if you go back to the information which are given in note number 4, can you go to note number 4? Because that is what you're going to use here, plus what you have computed up there. We are told the supplier offers 3% discount for orders of 120 mattress. Now, remember what we have said in Roman 1. For this company to be able to minimize the cost associated with the basically ordering and also holding these particular mattresses, the company has to order how many mattresses? 100 mattresses. Through that, the company will be able to minimize the total cost associated with this particular inventory of mattresses. But the supplier here has extended a discount to this company, and the company is told that if the company orders 120 mattresses instead of 100, the company will get a 3% discount. Automatically, what that means is that, remember, the purchase price per mattress is 4,000. So if the company purchases from 120 mattresses, the company will not pay 4,000, but the company will do what? Will be given a 3% discount. The price now to be paid will be 97% of this. So then in the same point you're told, and a discount of 5% for orders of 180 mattresses. For orders of 180 good mattresses. So therefore, in this case, our company has 3 options. Our company has 3 options. Number 1, either to order 100 mattresses, which is basically the company's computed economic order quantity, or the company to order 120 mattresses and basically qualify for 30% discount, or the company orders 180 mattresses and the company qualify for 5% discount. Now, the company has those 3 options. Now, what we are required to do here is basically we determine the order size, either 100, 120, or basically 180, which basically will result to the least cost. To the least what? Cost. Basically, what in other terms we need to do is to evaluate those 3 orders. How do we evaluate the orders? Usually in management accounting, we evaluate the options in terms of the cost. In terms of what? The cost. Because the company here has 3 what? Options. Either to order 100, to order 120 or to order what? 180. Which cost do we need to compute here of each order size? We need to compute the total cost, which will comprise of the three costs: the purchase cost, the ordering cost, and also what? And also the holding cost. So therefore, but before we do that, we need to list those options available to this company. So we have said our company has got three what options: either to order 100 mattresses, or the company can order 120 mattresses, or the company can order what? The company can order 180 mattresses. 180 what? Mattresses. Now, if the company orders 100 mattresses, what will be the purchase price? The purchase price, in fact, we can just write it up there. Purchase price, which is denoted by small p, that one will be 4,000 per mattress if the company order 100. And then we also know what is the holding cost. The holding cost here will be 15% of 4,000, and basically that will be what? Will be 600. But now, if the company orders 120 mattresses, the company qualifies for a 30% discount. What will be the purchase price here? The purchase price will not be 4,000, but our company getting a 30% discount. So the purchase price here will be 97% of 4,000. So this will give us a purchase price of how much? A purchase price of how much? So the company will get a 30% discount. So instead of paying 4,000 for each mattress, the company will pay 97% of that. That will give us how much? Yes, I'm told by Jefa that this will give us 38.80. So that will be the purchase price per mattress. And then that also means that we will have a different holding cost, because holding cost, this one is always computed as a percentage of this. So the holding cost here will be equal to 15% of 38.80. 38.80. So let's compute this one. The new holding cost. The new holding cost, I'm told this one by Nigeria will be 582. 582. 582. 582. 582. So we do the same for the other order size, which is basically the company ordering 180 mattresses. So here the company will get a 5% discount. 5% discount. So mean that the purchase price here will be 95% of 4,000. Or 4,000. So how much will be the purchase price? Yes. How much will be the purchase price? How much will be the purchase price? How much will be the purchase price? Yes. The purchase price here will be 38, and then the holding cost here will be 15% of this. 15% of that. So what will be 15% of that? It will be what? It will be 5 what? It will be 570. It will be 5 what? It will be 570. It will be 5 what? 70. Now, having this information, what I want us we do, I want us we evaluate these three options. And basically, I've said we evaluate these three options, in terms of computing the total cost of each option. How do we compute the total cost? The total cost, this one is equal to the purchase cost. The purchase cost is equal to annual demand times the purchase price per unit, which is basically small p. This is a multiplication sign. Then to this, we add the holding cost. The holding cost. How do we compute the holding cost? The holding cost is equal to Q. And basically, in this case, when we talk about Q, remember, is the order quantity. Because, like in this case here, our Q will be 180. Here, our Q will be what? 120. Here, our Q will be 100. Q is basically the order quantity. So we multiply that with HC. And then to this, we add what? The ordering cost. So the ordering cost will be equal to annual demand divided by Q times what? Times C naught. Times C what? C naught. This is basically how we compute the total cost of each option here, of each what? Option. So what I want us to do, I want us now we compute the total cost associated with each what? With each order size. Associated with each order size. So let's start with this order size, where our Q will be 100 mattresses, 100 mattresses, 100 mattresses. So we need to compute the total cost. So what you just need to note is what will be changing, but our formula is also very, very important. We start by computing the purchase cost here. So the annual demand, this one will not change in all options. So what will change is the purchase price. For example, here the purchase price is 4,000. Here is 3880. Here is 3800. The purchase price will have to change. The other item which will have to change for the different options is the holding cost, this one. But now this one, nothing here is nothing, or basically what will change here is just the Q. It's just the Q here. Yes, so we start with this one where our Q is 100. So we take the purchase price, we take the annual demand. Remember, the annual demand will not change. Well, this for 80 mattresses, the annual demand, yes, the annual demand in note number 1 is for 80 mattresses. We multiply that with the purchase price per unit, which is this one, which is 4,000. 4,000. So that is the purchase cost plus now the holding cost, which is equal to Q. Our Q here is 100 divided by 2. And then to this we add what? To this we add, okay, we multiply that with this one, with the holding costs per unit. And then to this we add the ordering cost. The ordering cost is equal to annual demand, which is 480. Remember that is our annual demand. Divided that with the Q. Our Q is 100. We multiply that with what? The ordering cost. The ordering cost is one will not change. It remains as given in note number 3. 62 what? 6250. So we need to get the total cost. But you also need to note that this 100, this remember is our economic order quantity. And basically we say that at economic order quantity, I think I demonstrated this using a graph. I said at the economic order quantity, so basically these two costs are always the same. The holding cost and the ordering cost are the same. The holding cost and the ordering cost are the same at the economic order quantity. So these two costs, this and this should be the same. I don't know whether you're getting the same value. So this and this one should be the same. Are you getting the same value? 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 Yes, I'm told it's 30,000 each. At economic order quantity, those two costs are the same. Okay, so having that, we need to evaluate the other option, which is basically ordering 120 mattresses. 120 mattresses. So, and we do the same. We compute the total cost, which will be equal to the purchase cost, which is basically equal to the annual demand. This will not change, times the purchase price per unit, which is now 3880. 3880. And then plus the holding cost, which is equal to Q. Our Q here is 120. Is 120 divided by 2 times what? The holding cost. The holding cost is 582 plus the ordering cost. Ordering cost is equal to annual demand for 80 divided by Q, which is 120 times what? The ordering cost per order, which is 62 what? 6250. But now in this case, you'll be able to see 120 mattresses is not our EOQ. So therefore, these two costs will not be the same. So these costs are always the same at the EOQ. At EOQ. At EOQ. 120 is not our EOQ. So the two costs will not be the same. The two costs will not be the same. So get for me the final value here. Get for me the final value here. Get for me the final value. The final value here. The final value. The final value, what are you getting? The final value, what are you getting? What are you getting? What are you getting? $19 what? Yes, I'm also getting 19. 22. 320. 320. Yes, so that is the figure I'm getting from Emma. Are you getting the same? Are you getting the same, Aaron? Jeff, are you getting the same? Sadrach, are you getting the same? Are you getting the same values here? DP, are you getting the same value? Are you getting the same value? Please try to hurry up. I want us to do more questions on this. Yes, so that is confirmed. So let's evaluate the last option, whereby the company has been given a discount if it's order 120 mattresses. So we need to get the cost of this order size. So the cost will be equal to the purchase price, or the purchase cost, which is equal to annual demand, which remains the same, times the purchase price per unit, which is this one, 38, plus the holding cost, which is equal to Q. Our Q here is 180, divided by 2, times the holding cost, which is 570, plus the ordering cost, which is basically equal to the annual demand for 80, divided by Q. Our Q is 180, times ordering cost per order, which remain the same. So let's get the total cost associated with that order size. So the purchase price or the purchase cost will be for 80 times 3,800. That will be 1824. Then we have 180 divided by 2 times 570, which is basically 51,300. And then we have 480 divided by 180 times 6250. 6250. Yes, what are you getting? What are you getting? You're getting what? Yes, 91 967. 967, is that what you're getting? Is that what you're getting? 1891, yes. So basically, in our case, we have computed the costs, which are basically associated with what? Associated with those particular different order size. Now, if you check on what the examiner was asking, the examiner was asking about the cost minimizing order size. The cost minimizing order size. Remember, in our case, we have 3 order size. The company can either order 100 mattresses, 120 mattresses, or 180. Which order size will result to the least cost? So the one which will result to the least cost is the third option here. Is the third what? Options here. Is the third what? Option, the third option. And therefore, in this case, we will say what? We will say the cost minimizing order size. Order size is 180 mattresses. 180 mattresses. 180 what? Mattresses. 180 mattresses. 180 mattresses. So in this case, you may also be required to, for example, give an advice to this company. But this was not a requirement of the question. We were just required to ascertain the cost minimizing order size. We have been able to do that, and basically have said that the cost minimizing order size is what? 120. But in this case, you may be required to give an advice to the management of this company. In this case, if we are to advise them, we will advise them to go or to accept a 5% discount. Remember, if the company accepts a 5% discount, or basically we can order them to order 180 units and get a 5% what? Discount, because that is basically resulting to the what? Cost. So we can say our advice is that to this company is to purchase 180 mattresses, and basically do what? And qualify for what? Qualify for 5% discount. Qualify for 5% what? Discount. Qualify for 5% what? Qualify for 5% discount. Yes, so that is in case you are required to advise this company on what? You are required to advise this company on maybe what to do. Which discount do they need to accept? Which discount do they need to accept? Yes. We are basically done with that one. I want us to look on another one. So these questions are very, very common. You'll be able to see that. You'll be able to see that these are very, very common. Very, very common. Let's look on this other one for September 2021. September 2021. September 2021. 2021, we have question number 3. Question 3. Question number 3B. 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 So let's go to that question. Question number 3. Question number 3. Question 3B of September 2021. September 2021. If you're there, please confirm. Yes, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? If you're there, please confirm. Please confirm if you have the question with you. September 2021. September 2021. September 2021 question. Question 3B. Okay, so we are told Fanaka Enterprises uses economic order quantity to establish the reorder quantity of raw materials, raw material Y. The company hold no buffer stock. So in this case, when we talk about buffer stock, this is the safety stock. The safety stock. Safety stock. So we are told the following information related to the raw material Y. We are given the annual usage. Annual usage, remember, we said is also the same with annual consumption. This is actually the same with the annual demand. So basically 48,000 units. The purchase price, which is 80 shillings per unit. The ordering cost, 120 per order. And then the annual holding cost is 10% of the purchase price. You can see the holding cost always is given as a percentage of the purchase price. Of the purchase what? Purchase price. Abdinasil, I've just shared those past papers in the class WhatsApp group. Can you check? I've just shared those papers in the class WhatsApp group. Although maybe someone can take a photo of the question and maybe post it in the group to assist our friend here, Abdinasil. Okay, so we are told the company, in the last paragraph, the company, as a supplier of raw material Y, has offered a discount of 1% of the purchase price if each order placed is for 2,000 units. For 2,000 units. So what are we required to do? One is we compute EOQ of material Y. Roman 2, we advise the management of this company on whether to accept or decline the discount. To accept or decline what? The discount. We start with Roman 1. Roman 1 is quite simple. That's why you can see only 2 marks are given. 1 mark is given, EOQ, for raw material. For raw material Y. Raw material Y. So this one is equal to the square root of 2D C0 all over HC. And I think in our case, we have these particular values. We have all of them. We take 2. We have the annual demand, or basically the annual usage, which is the 48,000 units. That is the annual demand, 48,000 units. Then we multiply that with the ordering cost per order, which is 120. And then we divide that with what? The holding cost. The holding cost in our case, is what? Is 10%. Now, Italy, you have already computed this. You are very fast. Yes. So this is basically 10% of the purchase price. The purchase price is basically 80. Is what? Is 80. So this one will be 10% of the purchase price. The purchase price. Our friend here, Naitari, has already computed that. Naitari, you are very fast. So maybe just confirm this. Just confirm whether you're going to get those 1,200 units. 1,200 units. 1,200 units. Is that what you're getting? 1,200 units. 2 times 48,000 times 120 divided by 8. Square root answer. Yes, so that basically will give us what? That will give us 1,200 units, 1,200 units. So this is the economic order quantity. Just one mark which was allocated for that. So then we go to Roman 2. Roman 2, we are required, what are we told here? We are told to advise the management of this company whether to accept or decline the discount. So we are required to do what? To advise on whether to accept or do what? Decline the discount. Decline what? The discount. Decline the discount. Should the company accept this discount or not? Remember what you're told in the last paragraph. We are told the company supplier of raw material Y has offered a 1% discount if each order placed is for 2,000. Remember, we are saying here, as per what we have computed here, for the company to be able to minimize the cost associated with the raw materials, the company has to be ordering 1,200 units. So this is the order size, which will basically minimize what? Minimize the raw materials costs. But we are told here, the company has been given another option. Instead of ordering 1,200 units, why not order what? Why not order 2,000 units and then you qualify for 1% discount? So basically here, just like what you have done in the other question, the company has two options. There are two options available to this company. The first option basically is to order 120, or not 120, rather 1,200 units. So if the company order this, the company will pay how much per unit? As per the information we have below paragraph 2, the company will pay 80 shillings per unit. That is the normal purchase price. If the company purchases 1,200 units, and also remember this is the purchase price, which is basically P. So what will change here also is this one. The holding cost per unit will be equal to 10% of this 80. The holding cost will be what? Will be 8 shillings per unit. So if the company order 1,200 units, it will pay 80 shillings per unit. The holding cost will be 8 bob. But now the company has been given option 2. Option 2, instead of ordering this, the company has been given an option to order 2,000 units, and the company qualify for 1% discount. So if the company qualify for 1% discount, the company automatically will not pay 80 shillings per unit purchased, but the company will pay 99%, because it is 1% discount, 99% of the purchase price, which is basically 80. So this will give us what? If the company accepts the discount. If the company accepts the discount, the company here will pay 79.2. 79.2, 99% of that. So I hope you're getting that. Yes, that also means that the purchase, not the purchase, the holding cost per unit will be 10% of this, 79.2. And basically that will give us 7.9 what? 0.92. 0.9 what? 2. Now, what basically we need to do, just like the other question, we need to evaluate those two options. How do we evaluate those two options? We need to compute the total cost of each option. Then we are going to, if for example, this now option 2 will basically will result to a lower cost than option 1, automatically we're going to advise the management to accept the discount. But if option 2 will have a higher cost than option 1, we are going to advise them not to accept the discount. So let's evaluate these two options. We start with the option 1, where our Q is 1,200 units. 1,200 units. And remember, we evaluate this option in terms of computing what? In terms of computing the total cost. So what will be the total cost? Maybe you can first of all have the formula, the purchase cost, which is equal to P times D plus the holding cost, which is equal to what? To Q divided by 2 times what? Times HC plus the ordering cost. The ordering cost, which is basically equal to annual demand divided by Q times what? Times C naught. Times C what? Naught. So let's start by computing the cost of the first option. The first option, where basically our Q is 1,200. So the purchase cost will be equal to the purchase price here, which is 80 shillings, times the annual demand. The annual demand, I hope you can be able to recall that in our question. The annual demand is 48,000 units, plus the holding cost, which is equal to Q. Our Q is here is 1200 divided by 2 times HC. HC is 8 shillings here, plus the ordering cost, which is equal to annual demand, 48,000 divided by Q, which is 1200 times what? Times ordering cost. The ordering cost in our case is how much? The ordering cost is 120. 120. So we get the total cost of that. Let's get the total cost associated with that order size. The total cost associated with that order size. What will be the total cost associated with that order size? What are you getting here? I'm getting what? 3849. I'm getting a different figure. Naitali, is that correct? I'm getting this one. 3849. 600. That is what, yes, that is also the same figure I'm given by this there. Yes, Naitali, confirm your answer. I don't think it is correct. And also, I hope you can see that because these are economic order quantity, you can see that these two costs are the same. That's what you have said. At EOQ, always those two costs must be the same. So then I want us to evaluate the second option, where our Q is basically 2,000 units. 2,000 units. So what will be the total cost associated with this? So we start with the purchase cost, which is equal to the purchase price. The purchase price per unit is 79.2 times the annual demand or the annual usage, which is 4,800, plus the holding cost Q, which is basically 2,000 divided by 2 times HC. HC here is 7.92, and then plus the ordering cost. Ordering cost is equal to annual demand, 48,000 divided by Q, which is basically 2,000. 2,000 times what? Times 120. Times 120. Times 120. Times 120. Yes, so let's work out this. Yes, what are you getting? I'm getting 3812,400. 3812,400. 3812,400. Yes, 3812,400. 3812,400. 3812,400. 3812,400. Is that what you're getting? Is that what you're getting? Is that what you're getting? Yes. Yes. Now, in this case, what we need to do is basically we now move and basically we advise the management of this company, should they accept the discount or not? Should the company accept the discount? Remember, if the company is to accept the discount, the company will have to order 2,000 units. So what you need to do, you need to compare the cost of the two order size. Remember, the order size here is 1,200 units. The order size here is 2,000 units. So should the company accept the discount or not? Should the company accept the discount or not? Should the discount be accepted or not? Yes, automatically the discount should be accepted because you can see that there will be some cost savings. There will be some cost what? Savings. Or in other terms, we can say that the company will incur the least what? Cost. So we say, we give the advice Advice will be accept the discount. Accept the discount. The discount since it results to cost what? To cost savings. To cost savings. Remember, currently, the company is ordering 1,200 units. So how much cost is incurred by the company currently? The company is incurring this cost. This is the cost incurred by the company currently. But if the company accepts the discount, we say there'll be some cost savings. The cost savings is the difference between those two costs. The cost savings is the difference between those two what? Costs. Can you tell me how much is the difference between the two costs? Between the difference between the cost of the two options. The difference is 37,200. So since it will result to cost savings of shillings what? 37,200. Basically, which you're saying is the difference between 49,600 and 38,12 forward 400. So that will result to some cost savings. It will result to some cost what? To some cost savings. It will result to some cost what? Savings. Sawasa? Yes, yes. So maybe what I want us to do, we take a short break. And then once we come back, I want us to look on something called the multiple quantity discount. The multiple quantity discount, because basically what you have dealt with here, this one is basically called a single quantity discount. A single quantity discount. So if the company purchases, for example, 2,000 units, the company qualify for what? Like 1% discount. That is a single quantity discount. But we have another option whereby the company will be given a multiple quantity discount. I'll be able to explain what you mean by multiple quantity discount. How do we evaluate now such option, and basically how do we advise the company? Sasa? Yes, but I want us to have that discussion once we come back after a short break of just 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, we come back, we continue with that. Yes, so I want us to continue. I hope you're back. Are you back? Are you back? Are you back? Aaron, are you back? Zipporah, are you back? Naitari, are you back? Emma, are you back? If you're back, please confirm. Please confirm. Please confirm. I want us to look on this. That is basically the multiple quantity discount. Multiple quantity discount. Now, when we talk about the multiple quantity discount, this whereby a discount will basically be given for different quantity rates. For different quantity rates. And actually, the main objective of this multiple quantity discount is usually to encourage buyers to buy more quantity at lower prices. More quantity at lower prices. The more the quantity you purchase, the higher the discount you get. The higher the discount you get. And therefore, when we talk about a multiple quantity discount, this whereby, for example, you have a supplier, assuming you have a company and you buy some raw materials from your supplier, and you're told, if you buy between, for example, maybe 0 units, or basically 1 unit, that is 1 unit, maybe to like 99 units, maybe in this case, there will be no discount here. Or maybe the discount here will be 0%, no discount. But if you buy now from 100, for example, to 199 units, you will qualify for something like 2% discount. If you buy between 200 to 2, or maybe to something like 499, maybe you will qualify for 3% what? Discount. If you buy between 500 and above, maybe you qualify for what? For 5% discount. Now, this one is called a multiple quantity discount. You can see the main objective of this discount is basically to encourage buyers to buy more quantity. The higher the quantity you purchase, the higher what? And the discount. The higher what? The discount. Now, in this case, automatically what we need to do here is to advise the company the quantity range to pick. Should the company order this the quantity range? Should the company order units which lies within this quantity range? Should the company order units which lies between this quantity range and so on? So that basically is the main objective here, to evaluate basically each quantity range and basically go ahead and you give an advice to the company. Should the company or which order range should be picked by our company? Automatically, the order range to be picked by our company is the one which results to the least what? Cost. And actually, we also evaluate this particular order or this quantity range by computing the cost of each quantity range. And therefore, in case you come across such a question whereby we have multiple quantity discount, the first thing you need to do is to purchase, that is to compute, that is, you need to compute the purchase price per unit. Remember, the purchase price per unit is basically P, because, for example, here you can be told between 100 and maybe 99, the price is maybe 10 shillings. So what will be the price here? The price here automatically, because the company will get a 2% discount, the price here will be 98% of 10 shillings.